Hi, those who have seen my first video and now watching this, you have already made a right choice. For those who are directly watching this video, let me tell you, you're going to make a right choice and you will realize it soon. My name is Pankaj and with my 20 years of experience, programming experience, I bring to you Python course for absolute beginners. In this first video of the course, we will learn about algorithms. Every programmer's journey should always start by learning what are algorithms, and there are many reasons to justify this. Number one, we make less errors. If we have written an algorithm for a program, we already have designed the logic for it and we can ultimately write a code which is error free. Second, if we have written the algorithm first, it is very easy to optimize the code. Now, what is optimization? Suppose you have written a code which is of 60 lines and which is executing exactly right. After optimization, we can write a code of 30 lines and which will execute in the same way. The third and the most important reason is your program becomes scalable. Once you write an algorithm, before writing a program, your program becomes scalable. Now, what is the meaning of scalable? Now, after few months, a few years maybe, you want to add something or you want to modify your own program, it becomes very difficult to understand or recollect the logic and then make the changes. It becomes more difficult if a third person is making some changes in your program. If he sees the algorithm, if he looks at the algorithm, he understands the logic and it is easy for him to make changes in the program. So let us learn what are algorithms and how to write them. So before understanding algorithm, let us understand what is programming. Definition of programming is step-by-step instructions given to computer in a specific language that computer understands to solve a particular problem. It's called programming. Now, what does this mean? Step-by-step instructions in a specific language that computer understands. So what are the specific languages? For example, Python, C++, Java, JavaScript. So these are the different languages that computer understands. So when we write instructions in these specific languages, that is called programming. And what is algorithm? Algorithm is step-by-step instructions written in simple English language to solve a particular problem. Okay, so what is the difference? Programming is step-by-step instructions written in a specific language, while algorithm is step-by-step instructions written in simple English language. Where do we write programs? Programs we write in special editors. We need special editors to write programming languages. While to write an algorithm, we don't need specific editors. We can write algorithm on pen and paper. To understand algorithm, let us take a very basic example. Everybody know how to prepare a Maggi, right? So if we see Maggi noodles packet, there are some instructions written on it. How to prepare it. The recipe of making a Maggi noodle. Take half cup water in a container, boil the water, add 1 Maggi cake, add Maggi magic masala, cook for 4 minutes, serve when ready. Correct? So these are what? This is a recipe for creating a Maggi noodle. So if you write this recipe in a particular manner, it is called as an algorithm. Now, what is a particular manner? Now look here. These are all the same instructions that are written above. The difference is we have written these instructions in a particular sequence of steps and we have named those steps, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. Again, we have started a start and an end statement to the recipe. Correct? So this is a simple algorithm to create a Maggi noodles. It is written in simple English language. What has been added? Some steps and a start and an end line. So this is basically called as an algorithm. And we have written this algorithm in a simple English language. So when we write an algorithm, there are some components that we use to write an algorithm. Okay, what are these components? For that, we'll take a similar example. However, what we will do is we will increase some ingredients. We will add some butter or some paneer to our Maggi. So what will happen is, first step will be start. Second step will be take 1.5 cup of water, boil the water. Then step 4 will be add 1 Maggi cake to the container, add Maggi magic masala. Now after this, what we will do is we'll add a step 6, right? Before cooking, we'll add a step 6, which will be add butter, paneer or mushroom, whatever you want. Then we cook it for 4 minutes. Step 8 will be serve ready Maggi noodles and step 9 will be end. Okay, so let us understand what are the components of an algorithm. Okay, what are the components? First one is the problem or the objective. Why we are writing this algorithm? So what is an objective here? We want to cook Maggi noodles, right? So this is an objective of writing an algorithm, this particular algorithm. Now an algorithm has an input. Okay, we give an input to our algorithm. So what is the input? So if we see water, Maggi noodles, magic masala, matar, paneer, mushroom, all these are what? Inputs to our algorithm. What is the logic? There is a logic to a algorithm. What is the logic? The steps that we carry to prepare this Maggi noodles is called as an logic. This is the logic of our algorithm. Okay, and the last one is output. What after giving an input, after applying that logic, what output do we get? We get cooked Maggi. So these are the basic components of algorithm. Problem, its input, the logic that we use, and the output. I took this example for you to understand what exactly algorithm is. Practically, we don't write any algorithm for cooking a Maggi noodles, right? This is just for your understanding. We will take one more example, a real life example of algorithm. Okay, so that example is prepare a fruit juice. So how do you prepare a fruit juice? Step 1, start. Step 2, take the juicer and wash it with water. Step 3, take the fruits of your choice for which you want to prepare a juice. Step 4, cut the fruits into small slices to make the grinding process easier. Step 5, if required, add 1 glass of water and around 3 cubes of ice. Step 6, if required, add some sugar for sweetness. Step 7, after grinding, pour it into the glass and serve it for a drink. Step at end. So this is how we write an algorithm for preparing a fruit juice. So what are the components of this algorithm? So first is, what is the problem? What is the objective? We need to prepare a fruit juice. So what are the inputs to this? We have water, fruits, juicer, sugar, ice cubes. These are the input to these algorithms. What is the output of this algorithm? Fruit juice. So this is a real life example for you to understand what basically algorithm is. So algorithm is what? A step-by-step instructions given or written in a simple English language to solve a particular problem. Now, as I said that we don't write algorithms for preparing a fruit juice or cooking a Maggi, right? We use algorithm to solve some particular problem. Okay, so we'll take an example of a math problem for you to understand algorithm better. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll write an algorithm to add two numbers 4 and 5. So usually how do you add 4 and 5? Right, on a paper you take the first number 4, you write the plus sign, then you write number 5, then you write the answer 9. Correct? So similarly, we have to write an algorithm to add two numbers 4 and 5. So we write it in the same way. So first step is start. Second is write the first number 4. Step 3, write second number 5. Step 4, add 4 plus 5. Show the answer 9. And this ends our algorithm. So it's very simple, right? So adding two numbers 4 and 5, this is the algorithm for it. So what are the components of this algorithm? First, what is the problem or what is the objective of writing this algorithm is? We have to add numbers 4 and 5 and get an answer 9. What is the input? Numbers 4 and 5. What is the logic? Step number 2 to step number 4 is our logic, correct? And what is the answer? The output? Show the answer 9. This is our output. So this is an example to add 4 and 5 and write an algorithm to it. Again, we don't write algorithm for such simple programs. Okay, we write algorithms to achieve something very specific. Now, what we'll do is when we use a calculator, we don't add only two specific numbers, right? 4 and 5. We add any number. The calculator gives an option to add any two numbers, right? The user enters. If I want addition of 2 and 6, 10 and 9, any two numbers, right? Here, this example, this specific example that is on your screen will add only two numbers 4 and 5. So we'll modify this algorithm to add any two numbers that the user enters. Now try to understand the algorithm and then I'll explain you how it works. So step 1 is start. Step 2 is take first number from the user and store it in A. Right? So when on a calculator, when you press some number, it goes in the memory of the calculator, right? Then you click the plus sign and then you enter the second number on the calculator. So that first number is stored somewhere, right? Similarly, when we write an algorithm, we make use of variables. What are variables? We'll learn immediately. Just try to understand the algorithm. What we are doing here is we are accepting a number from the user and storing it in a variable. The name of the variable is A. On the third step, take second number from the user and store it in another variable B. So in B, the second number is stored. Add A plus B and store it in C. Now C is the third variable where we are storing the addition of A and B. Okay, I'll explain this step by step. Step 5 is show the answer C. whatever the answer is in C, the algorithm will print it and the algorithm will end here. Now let us understand how this works. So take first number from the user and store it in A. Suppose user enters number 10. So A, the value of A will be 10. Suppose the user enters second number as 20. So the value of B will be 20. Right? So on the step 2 and 3, we got two numbers which are stored in two variables, A and B. 10 and 20 is entered from the user, and those are stored in a specific variable to which names are given A and B. On the fourth step, what will happen is A plus B will be added. So the values of A, that is 10, and value of B, that is 20, will be added and stored in a third variable, that is C. So here we will get C is equal to 30. So what is the value of C is 30. We'll take one more example. Okay. First step is start. Second step, take the number from the user and store it in A. Suppose the user enters 5. Step 3, take the second number from the user and store it in B. So the user enters 50. Ultimately, on the step 4, A and B will be added and stored in C, right? So A and B will be added. So the answer will be 55 and will be stored in variable C. Correct? So what are the components of the algorithm? First, what is the problem or objective? Add any two numbers and get the answer. Now remember this, any two numbers and get the answer. Input is what? Variables A and B. Logic is what? Step number 2 to step number 4. Output is what? Show the answer, that is the number in C. Correct? Now let us understand basically what is a variable. What are variables? Now variables are used to store information to be referred, referenced and manipulated in a computer program. We can store information in a variable. We can name our information to be used or changed later. Now let us understand this, what exactly a variable is. So this was an example, right? We took two numbers, we stored in variable A and B, and then the addition was stored in C and we showed the answer. Now how this algorithm actually works is, now the first step is start. Okay. Now imagine that this is the memory of the computer. On the step 2, when we say take first number from the user and store it in A. Suppose the user enters 40, right? What will happen is 40 will be stored in the memory and that memory location will be named as A. Okay, so A variable, that memory location will be named as A. Under step 3, take second number. Suppose user enters 20. So what we have written is take the second number from the user and store it in B. So when 20 is stored in the memory, that memory location is named as B. Now step 4, very important. What this will do is it will add A plus B and store it in C. Now add A plus B means what? It will add the number stored in A and the number stored in B and then store it in C. So how this works is number stored in A, number stored in B, it will be added and it will be stored in the memory location and that will be named as C. Okay. So what is stored in C now? 60. So on step number 5, when we say show the answer C, computer will refer to that memory location where C is and it will retrieve the value of C and that is 60 and it will print 60. So this is a variable and this is how algorithm works. Now let us modify this algorithm to add 3 numbers. Adding a 3 numbers, what would be the algorithm? First will be start. Second will be take the first number from the user and store it in a variable A. Next will be take second number from the user and store in variable B. Next step will be take third number from the user and store it in C because we need 3 numbers, right? Now in the step 5, what we'll do is we will add A plus B plus C and store this in a new variable Z. Show the answer in Z and end. So this is how the algorithm has been modified from adding 2 numbers to adding 3 numbers. What is an additional step here? Step 4, where we have taken another variable C and the addition is stored in a variable Z and this Z has been shown. So this is how we write algorithms. What are the components of this algorithm? Again, what is the problem? Adding any 3 numbers and get the answer. What is the input? Variables A, B and C. What is the logic? Step number 2 to step number 5. And what is the output? We get the answer stored in the variable Z. Interesting, right? Now these were some of the easy algorithms that we saw. In the next video, we will learn about what are flowcharts, and along with them, we will learn some complex and interesting fun algorithms. Subscribe to the channel and click that like button so this video reaches to more people who can make use of these videos. See you in the next video.